Reviewing viral YouTubers. Deep dive into the tea of clickbait culture with zero agency. Hey besties! Welcome back to the most deep divey, tea spilling, truth exposed, sound effect abusing channel on the platform. I'm a list some of the most overused and increasingly cringe terms on YouTube, used by influencers and quote thought leaders. Now the scary thing is, do you actually get more clicks if you use these stupid words? Oh, I just used one of the words, clicks. You shouldn't use clicks. Ew. Views. Views. Use the word views. So I've already used one. Cringe. I've already used four, in fact. But cringe. That thing became cringe like 4 years ago. Remember when people used to use the word epic all the time? That's what cringe has become. Or how people used to say totes. Oh, totes instead of totally. My default is, as soon as I hear a word like that and I hear it catch on, is like identify it and never ever say it. In fact, I think a good rule of thumb is to stop watching somebody's video when they use these words. Like if anybody ever says cringe, stay away from them. Right, anybody who uses the word cringe is cringe. Anybody who uses the term deep dive is not deep at all. Then they have nothing deep to say. But let me finish on the subject of cringe. Okay, so obviously it's a shortened version of cringeworthy, just like totes was a shortage of a short form for totally. Maybe you should generally stay away from words that are abbreviated like that. Like, I'm not saying you have to use words with 5 syllables, but cringeworthy, cringy, just say cringy. And you know what? Even using the word totally was bad. That goes back to like the 80s, Bill and Ted. Totally, dude. What are we gonna get? What's next? We're gonna get, instead of awesome, we're gonna get that's awes. That's so awes. Okay, so yeah, deep dive is another one that drives me crazy. It's not that there's anything wrong with it. It's that it's used ad nauseum. Like every single video and every single description. Today we're taking a deep dive. Even ChatGPT, if you ask them to write you a monologue, they'll always suggest, here's a deep dive, or for any description. Today we're doing a deep dive. And you know what? If you need to use those words in order to get a popular video today, then it's not worth making a popular video. And also the term is thrown around way too much. Like, okay, so you took 47 minutes to explain something that could have been covered in a tweet. That's not a deep dive. The most recent one that's driving me crazy is spilling the tea, or today we've got some tea. Today we've got the tea. And I was thinking, where the hell did this come from? And I think it's like conversation that you'll have over tea. So first of all, it's cringe. It sounds cringe. Wait, am I doing a deep dive into the cringe term spilling the tea? I'm about to share rumors I heard. That's spilling the tea. And if you're spilling the same tea, then it's is it re-tea? Or you're sharing the tea? It's reheated tea if you've already spilled the tea, if you already shared it. Or it's tea that's been steeped in someone else's drama. Come here for the tea, everybody. It's tea time. Anybody who says spilling the tea, I'd like to pour scalding hot tea on their head. Scalding, not scolding. Oh, here's an old one it still exists. Agency. Now, I first heard this 10 years ago. I heard someone use this in a bar. They said to me, you have agency, you know. And I was like, what the hell does that mean? And I said, that's so pretentious. I've never heard anyone use that. And I looked it up, and yeah, okay, he is using it properly, but it just sounded so pretentious. And then it grew and until everybody was using it all the time, and people still use it now online. And I don't think I could bring myself to ever use that word. It just makes a person sound like they think they're a professor, like they know a word that nobody else knows. But that the fact that everybody uses it makes it redundant. I think what particularly annoys me, I guess, about it is that it's like a word that I don't think people even know what it really means. You don't know what it means, but yet you know what it means. Maybe I prefer ownership. You have ownership over this. It's like, just seems like such a, you don't have to think, I don't want to have to think too much, so I'm just going to say this, and it can apply to like everything. We would say it's a catch-all. It's a catch-all kind of word to say. And also you can use it even when you don't need to use it. Like if somebody busts your, headlight in your car, you can say to them, "You have agency." I could see some pretentious assholes just waiting for anybody to, whenever somebody makes a mistake, for them to just point their finger and go, "You have agency. You have agency on that. You have agency." Oh, and one on YouTube is hot take. Here's a hot take. First of all, it would already be bad if you just said, "I've got a take on it." Especially if your take is not original at all, and it probably isn't. Maybe we can just use hot with everything, like hot agency. You have hot agency. You have hot, that's so hot cringe. I'd say hot tea, but spilling the hot tea, I guess that's goes without saying, it's hot. No, but it actually works. I'm going to spill the hottest tea you've ever seen spilt. And you know what else? Back to the tea. If you're going to use an analogy, don't use one that everybody else uses. Make up your own. Not tea. Like, we all know tea. Oh, and speaking of metaphors and getting back to deep dive, I just realized, oh yeah, deep dive is like, because you're diving off the diving board and you're diving very deep. Okay, very cool. Again, make up your own analogy. Don't just do hot tea and deep dive. Today I'm going to deep dive into some hot tea. And calling your subscribers besties. It's mainly females, it's chicks that do that, right? Hey besties. Now, although I'm not a female, I think even if I was a female and somebody called me a bestie, they would not be my bestie for long. I would invite them over for tea, and then I would pour it on their head. I'd go, "There you go, bestie, I'm spilling some tea. Why are you looking at me so cringe? I have agency while I'm spilling the tea. I'm my bestie." Another YouTube term, unpack. Now, I don't know if it's referencing a knapsack, you're unpacking, like when you unpack, or we're going to disassemble. I guess, why don't you just say disassemble then? I'm going to review in detail every element that makes up this thing. And watch every video that says that they're going to unpack something, and see whether they actually do talk about every detail about the thing, or whether they just talk on and on and on about nothing new. I looked up, I used GPT to find some of these overused terms. Most of them came from me, like the spilling the tea. That's been driving me crazy. But apparently nuanced is overused. Nuanced. I have no problem with the word nuanced, but it must be used during nuanced issues, because if everything becomes nuanced, then nothing does. Because nuanced, if you don't know, it means guess what, you probably don't know what it means, and I'm having difficulty describing it. It means very specific. Actually, I was wrong. It doesn't mean very specific. It means characterized by subtle shades of meaning or expression. Okay, so I kind of knew it. It's one of those words where you know it even though you can't define it. But that's not good. It's not good if you don't actually know whether you're using a word correctly. And that's why I avoid using words like that. And I probably have a larger vocabulary than 99% of everybody on the planet Earth in the English speaking, in terms of the English language. And I can't even define nuanced, then you probably can't. Okay, main character energy. I've seen this begin to be used, and I already don't like it, and I hope it goes away soon. I'm not sure what I think it means. Like, this person is trying to like say that they're the hero of the story. They're like, it's all about me. Normalize. I wasn't aware of this being a problem, this word, but I guess it's overused. I guess it's been normalized. Maybe a good thing is a good rule of thumb is that if the word can be used against itself, then you should stop using it. If cringe becomes cringe and normalized becomes normalized, if everything is nuanced, if everybody's always got agency, okay, authentic. It's mainly, I find it to be females like Jada Pinkett, like actors, Jada Pinkett Smith, Blake Lively. They tend to say, I'm being my authentic self. Or it really felt authentic. It's like saying, I'm going to tell you the truth, except trying to be even more pretentious than that. To tell you the authentic truth. It's also so like self-indulgent. It's so narcissistic, right? Oh, I'm just being authentic. Everybody else is so, pretentious and fake, but I'm authentic. What are you, a shoe? Are you a line of clothing? Like, I had an authentic Wayne Gretzky rookie card when I was a kid, but I'm not authentic. Like, this is an authentic wristwatch. It's used for like pawn shops. Oh, and I guess what goes hand in hand with that, and is even worse, is inauthentic. It feels inauthentic. Authentic is a word I think that people use because it sounds intelligent, and at the same time it sounds nice, like it's fun to say. Oh, and joining hot take, apparently there's cold take. I don't even want to know what that means. Humble brag. Humble brag. In the olden days, we would just call that a backhanded self-compliment. Now, I don't really mind the concept of the word, except that I just don't like how it sounds. I think it sounds too wannabe cool. According to GTP at least. Cleanse the palate. I guess that's overused. I didn't realize. But yeah, come to think of it, people do use that too often. That's too bad, because it's a good term. I usually use it when I'm eating sushi, because I always say right when I use wasabi when I'm eating sushi, I use it to cleanse my palate in between different types of sushi. I don't think anybody knows what it means. Like, I think 1% under that know. No, it's another analogy where I think it's just gotten lost, the actual original meaning. I don't even know it. Obviously, it's like a painter's palette. Cleansing the palette would mean to like start again with a new color. Yeah, I looked it up, and yeah, cleanse the palate. Palette is like the palace. That's why you have cheese when you do wine and cheese events. You take a bite of the cheese to cleanse your palate so that you can try the next type of wine, because you don't want to have the taste of the previous wine in your mouth. Or if you're watching a movie too long or something, I don't know, you got something on your, I don't know, you're watching it from a certain perspective, you might stop the movie and you might, I don't know, go to the bathroom, come back, and you've cleansed the palate in the sense of like you're looking at it with new eyes, fresh eyes, from a fresh perspective. Of all the terms I've mentioned so far, I bet you this one is the one that is the most misused. That didn't age well. That didn't age well. I don't mind using it occasionally, but I wouldn't try using it. I bet you there's people that use it like to express like superiority over everything. Oh, that didn't age well. That's it for now. Please write any more that you can think of, because I bet you there's a million more, and some that I'm guilty of. And as soon as I find out I'm guilty of them, I don't use them. Oh wait, here's one more. When people say, "Oh, that trumped that trumps this," don't use Trump like that, because we were already surrounded by Donald Trump. You can't use that word ever again to describe something. You can't say that trumped that. And youngsters today don't even know what it means. They don't even know where it came from. It's another analogy, the Trump card, right? That it comes from cards. That card trumps that card. So we need to officially retire that word. Okay, thanks for watching and have a horrible day.